Will your smoke detector wake you if there's a fire? Well, if you have the kind of smoke detector found in most homes, it may not go off. In fact, our investigation discovered the most common type has an alarming rate of failure, as you'll see when our consumer investigator Jennifer Krause puts them to the test.
You know, being killed with smoke, it's a horrible way to go.
If your house catches on fire in the middle of the night, you want a smoke detector that wakes you up at the first sign of smoke.
Smoke's what kills people. Rarely somebody actually gets burned up.
But get this, the kind of smoke detector found in most homes often has trouble detecting the type of smoke that kills.
And if the public was aware of it, it could save hundreds of lives every year.
Boston's Deputy Fire Chief Jay Fleming has spent years studying smoke detectors.
Going to write a P for photoelectric.
And with his help, we put them to the test.
We've got 3 kinds of smoke detectors up here.
One is an ionization detector. It's the cheapest kind and the type most people have in their homes. The second, a photoelectric detector, costs a few bucks more. And the third is dual, a combination ionization and photoelectric detector.
Breathe in.
For our test, along with Fleming, we invited firefighters from the state and Metro, including State Representative Mike Turner, to the Tennessee Fire Academy in Bedford County.
It's going to be interesting.
But even these firefighters were skeptical that there would be much of a difference between when the detectors would sound.
I'm going to say 20, 25 seconds between each one.
I think maybe a minute tops.
So with 6 cameras ready to capture every angle,
What we're trying to do is simulate a cigarette in a couch.
Chief Fleming sticks a hot soldering iron under the cushion.
This is actually a very common type fire in the United States.
It's a slow-burning fire that creates a lot of smoke, just like fires caused by space heaters and electrical fires.
Now we just have to wait.
About 5 minutes later, we see the first curl of smoke, and we start our timer.
As you can see, the amount of smoke given off is gradually and very slowly increasing in amount.
At this point, the Home Sweet Home sign on the wall is clearly visible, and breathing without a mask is easy.
Yeah, we're now 5.5 minutes into the test.
But as the minutes pass, it gets tougher to breathe, as the room starts to get visibly smoky. Then, 8 minutes and 15 seconds after we first spot smoke,
That's the photoelectric detector, right?
the photoelectric alarm sounds. In a real fire, firefighters say you'd have no trouble getting out alive. But the other 2 detectors are silent, despite all the smoke that now fills the small room. And it's another 2 minutes before there's another alarm. This time, it's the combination detector.
10 minutes and 15 seconds, the dual went off.
But still, the ionization detector, again, the kind found in most homes, hasn't sounded its alarm.
Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't gone off yet.
There's now so much smoke, the Home Sweet Home sign is hard to see. Even Chief Fleming, a veteran firefighter, needs his breathing mask.
I think people are surprised at how much smoke you can get without having any flame.
Everyone has their breathing apparatus on, and the ionization smoke detector has still not gone off.
I'm not saying there isn't a single person in this country who can't escape through this kind of smoke, but there's a lot of people who can't.
But still, there's no alarm from the ionization detector.
So every second, it's getting worse and worse.
Until finally, 15 minutes and 40 seconds into the test. That's more than 7 minutes after the photoelectric alarm. Minutes, the firefighters agree, could be the difference between life and death.
That was a real eye-opener.
And these once skeptical fire experts
It's just amazing, the difference in the 2.
admit they were stunned.
I thought once that first one went off, the other 2 would follow suit, and I was really shocked.
We're going to light a flaming fire.
The makers of ionization smoke detectors say this type of detector works best with faster burning flaming fires. But when we put our same 3 detectors to the test,
All the detectors went off within seconds of each other.
it wasn't long before alarms were sounding, and not just 1, all 3.
This is a lot of clean burning smoke, as you can tell.
But remember, you're most likely to die in a smoky fire. Again, the kind where ionization detectors may fail to go off until it's too late.
I think since 1990, the failure to recognize this problem is responsible for literally thousands of needless deaths.
That's a lot of lost lives right there.
And Mike Turner says after seeing our test,
Okay, we'll leave now and let the sprinklers put the fire out.
he's making the switch to photoelectric.
The technology is out there to save your family, and then that's the bottom line.
Of course, our tests weren't scientific, but federal government scientists have conducted their own tests, and they found a difference of as much as 30 minutes between alarms. That's why some key fire prevention groups are now recommending that people switch either to photoelectric or at least to a dual sensor that's both photoelectric and ionization.
I'm sure a lot of people will want to make that switch, but the question, I guess, is how much more expensive are we talking with the photoelectric?
Not much at all. Generally only about $5 or $6 more for a photoelectric detector. Not a lot of money when you're talking about protecting your family.
Yeah, such important information. Great story, Jennifer. Thank you very much. Well, if you want to know what type of detector you have or read the recommendations, just go to newschannel5.com. And if you know of something we should investigate,